Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg appeared before a Los Angeles courtroom for an unprecedented social media trial that questions whether social media platforms deliberately addict and harm children. According to an Associated Press report, Zuckerberg answered questions about young people's use of Instagram, his congressional testimony, and the internal advice he received about being authentic and not robotic. Lawyers representing the petitioner, now a 20-year-old woman identified by the initials KGM, claimed that her early use of social media addicted her to the technology and exacerbated depression and suicidal thoughts. Meta Platforms and Google's YouTube are the two remaining defendants in the case, which TikTok and Snap settled. Earlier, TikTok agreed to settle the social media addiction lawsuit, the details of which were not disclosed. Another platform, Snapchat's parent company, Snap Inc., settled the case as well.
Mark Zuckerberg was grilled today about kids' use of Instagram in a landmark social media trial in Los Angeles. He testified in the case, which seeks to ask the question of whether Instagram, Meta, and Google-owned YouTube deliberately designed their platforms to addict and harm children.
During the hearing, plaintiff's lawyer Mark Lanier laid out three options of what people can do regarding vulnerable people: help them, ignore them, or prey upon them and use them for our own ends. According to an AP report, Lanier questioned Zuckerberg extensively about a comment he had made during a past congressional hearing, wherein he had said that Instagram employees are not given goals to increase the amount of time people spent on the platform. Last week, Adam Mosseri, the head of Meta's Instagram, testified during a landmark social media trial in Los Angeles that he disagreed with the idea that people can be clinically addicted to social media platforms. During the hearing on Wednesday, Zuckerberg said they previously had goals associated with screen time, but added he and the company made the conscious decision to move away from those goals, focusing instead on utility. The Meta CEO said he believes in the basic assumption that if something is valuable, people will use it more because it's useful to them.
We are all survivor parents, as you know, here for this trial, which is incredibly important for us. And today was the most important day for us to understand the truth of what happened and what was known about the harms to our children. And he's not able to answer those questions now either. And so he's fumbling over them. And we just see that as a sign of, he knew perfectly well what was going on. The intention of the company was to prey on teens, use teens' usage, exploit them so they can make greater profits. And that was done intentionally, not by accident. Of course, we hope that something will change. We can't say definitively that something will change, but I think what has changed is the whole world now knows what's really going on in Meta, and that anything that they say or do, we cannot trust.
These parents have traveled throughout the United States to come and bear moral witness because their children can't. They have, in many cases, stayed overnight in front of the courthouse in order to ensure that they can have the right and the opportunity to see justice in process. What we heard today was what they taught me in law school was the term pettifoggery, which is how do you wordsmith things around to change reality? How do you use high-handed prose to obscure the truth? How do you say that, so we saw a lot of wordsmithing. We saw statements like, we don't allow children under 13, as presented as, while ignoring the truth of the matter. We saw statements that we do not promote, enhanced time on our platform. And we saw that the documents, spoke otherwise. We said that we do not, recognize, the risks of body dysmorphia when the documents proved otherwise. This was a momentous period of time. This was a momentous event in the history of American law and American jurisprudence, because it was something that for years a social media company never thought would happen. They never thought that they would ever have to face a jury. They never thought that they would have to stand up and explain themselves under oath, because they thought that through Section 230 they could avoid the liability and avoid the responsibility that every other company in America bears witness to and operates under. This case is now and will be in the wise hands of the jury, but we know that simply because we achieved this milestone, justice has been done, and justice will continue to be done in this case and others.
According to the AP report, Zuckerberg was asked about what he characterized as an extensive media training, including for testimonies like the one he was giving in court. The plaintiff's attorney, Lanier, pointed to an internal document about feedback on Zuckerberg's tone of voice on his own social media, imploring him to come off what he called as authentic, direct, human, insightful, and real, and instructing him to not try hard, fake, robotic, corporate, or cheesy in his communication. Zuckerberg pushed back against the idea that he's been coached on how to respond to questions or present himself, saying those offering the advice were just giving feedback.
The courtroom was packed today, with many members of the public being denied one of the limited seats inside. And the tone between Zuckerberg and the plaintiff's attorneys was at times combative. But Zuckerberg mainly stuck to his talking points, emphasizing the value that Instagram brings to users in terms of expression and connection, and said that his North Star is to create a platform that gives people a good experience. The trial is expected to continue on for a number of weeks, and the outcome of this case could have a tremendous impact on the outcome of thousands of other similar cases.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That is often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore if you individually take out play, right?
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.